Hi, and welcome back to Halton Tech Today. Today we're actually with John Helliker from SIRT at Pinewood Studios, and we're going to be learning about some of the new technologies in 3D animation as well as 3D rendering. So thanks, John, very much for helping us out with this. So what is it that we're looking at? I know you have your 3D actor or animation actor up here, and it looks like we have things happening in real time, which is really interesting.
Yeah, we do. This is an area that we work in called pre-visualization or virtual production. And what we have here is a motion capture volume. So the cameras that are circling this space here are motion capture cameras. And within this volume, we have a motion capture performer. And we work in areas of, as I said, pre-visualization and virtual production. So basically what it is real-time animation using motion capture. And in this case, we have real-time animation of both an actor as well as a camera that we can get into as we move forward and look at it.
Yeah, and I found that fascinating. When we were looking at that before, you normally think of, you know, the 3D render happening in a farm, like a server farm, and being done, which I'm sure happens. But this actually does it in real time. You've placed a real, you know, person moving into a virtual environment, which is really exciting.
Yeah, what we're doing here is we're able to actually have this real time within a program that allows you to see the set as well as the performers. So it's being developed and used by cinematographers, directors, producers. It allows them it allows the director to block out a scene, to be able to work with actors within this space where there's nothing around them as far as the set or location.
Right.
But to be able to actually see the actors' movements applied to CG characters within a computer-generated space of an exterior location, or in this case, a room within a building.
Right, and I noticed you had all the lines kind of worked out on the floor already, so I guess they're in conjunction with doorways and windows and things like that in the 3D render. So what does SIRT stand for, and what's your direct relation with Sheridan? Because I know there's a huge link there.
SIRT is a division of Sheridan College, and it refers to, or it stands for the Screen Industries Research and Training Center. Right. And we're a part of Sheridan Applied Research. We're also connected to the Faculty of Animation Arts and Design at Sheridan. So we're essentially their research arm. Right. So we work with faculty members and students. The researchers, the people you see around you, most of them are Sheridan students from a variety of programs, from media arts, which is film and television, from animation, from software development and network engineering, which is in the computer studies area. Sure. And we bring those students together and they work here as researchers. Oh, phenomenal, phenomenal. Now, I notice a lot of cameras around the entire perimeter of your working area. What are these actually doing? Okay, so these are motion capture cameras, and they're sending out infrared rays, and those rays are bouncing off the markers, those balls that are on the joints of the actor. And multiple cameras sending out their rays and receiving the information back allows the system to determine where those markers or balls are in 3D space. And that's how it reconstructs or constructs the position and movement of the actors and the camera. Right. Now, can you record this information so that if something didn't work out in the live render very well, that information or the wireframe that you're currently capturing is stored somewhere so that you can redo things with it later? Definitely, definitely. I mean, the way we're doing this right now is real time, but in most cases, it's used for post-production processing. And I mean, motion capture itself is not a solution unto itself. Right. There's animation work that happens after the fact. So animators use this as a starting point, and they can build on it. They can layer animation on top of that, or clean it up or change it. Right. So in this case, we're doing it for real time pre-visualization, which again allows us to get feedback on how the scene is working, or particular camera angles that we can use. Yeah, the camera angle is a big one. It actually looks extremely realistic to me, like even looking at the render that you have happening live. The fact that someone's holding a camera, moving in and out, can get down on their knees, look up at the ceiling, that's quite something. I've never really seen that before, so. Well, this is what's referred to as a virtual camera, and we've developed this one here at SIRT. What a cool tool. And it's been used with training that we're doing with the Cinematographers Guild here in Ontario. Right. It's been used with the gaming company as far as work that they were doing on a production and that they're integrating into their workflow. Right. And it is something that we've developed and we're evolving as we go. For example, right now, if the cinematographer wants to change the lens,
right?
Michael? What's the lens on it now? Okay? Yeah, as you can see on this on the screen here on the monitor,
right?
There's actually a preview that tells you what the lens is. So what we've done is we've built in different lenses. We've done real world comparisons between the lens that's in the computer program,
right,
and actual lenses that are available for cinematographers.
Wow,
so a cinematographer who comes in here can specify, I want a 35mm lens or a 50mm lens of a particular brand, and knows that he or she will get the accuracy, the field of view of that particular lens.
That's great.
So if we could just change the lens in, okay, so that's a 25.
Right.
Can we maybe change that to a 50mm lens? And you get a tighter shot.
Yeah.
So that way a cinematographer or a director can look at the scene in different ways, the same way they would on set in a real situation.
Right. And he's walking around that actor the whole time, and you get the whole spin of the room as it's happening. That's an amazing effect. Okay, so can the person walking around with the camera see the exact same view and angle that you're viewing here? Is that how they're getting an idea of what's going on?
Yes, I mean, that's the way it's constructed. So if we walk over here, we can see that what Brian's actually doing is he's doing the same thing that a cinematographer would do in a real-world situation.
Right.
He's able to see through the monitor what he's seeing, but it's in the CG world. So he's able to change the lens and can you maybe go a little tighter on the lens there, Michael? Okay, so he can now get a little tighter shot. He can make decisions that a director can look at. And
amazing.
The beauty of this too is that it allows people to make decisions ahead of time.
Right.
So looking at this and being able to block the actors within the scene and decide how it's going to play out.
Sure.
A director might decide, for example, before a set is even built, might decide, well, I'm going to shoot everything from one angle. I don't need the set to be built in the back.
Right,
so in that way, you can save money in terms of production costs.
Absolutely.
Same thing with if you're doing a large scene outside in an exterior location and you find that maybe you don't need as many extras once you start to play that out as far as a pre-visualization.
Right, yeah, and I noticed from the last time that I was here when we were kind of taking a look at this stuff before, you've added a lot of detail. There wasn't a lot of detail when we first looked at the, the 3D image that you had in the background, but now you've got pictures on the wall, you've got wood texture on the floor. When you point up, it looks like the ceiling is extremely detailed. There's amazing stuff happening here. So obviously that's something that you would really want to get an idea of.
That's the case, and the thing about it too is that we can change things as we want.
Right.
So for example, right now, if you look up, you can see the ceiling.
Right.
But if I say, well, as a director, what I really want to do is I want to be able to get a high angle.
Right.
I want to be able to look down. So I can have Michael hide the ceiling or hide walls. If I decide that certain walls are going to be in the way, I can do the same thing that I would do with a live set. I can have him hide that wall.
Right,
and allow the cinematographer to get back and actually see things.
Well, something else I noticed when we were looking at the computers originally is you had an Xbox controller. So can you maybe explain to us, and I've noticed this actually not only here, but in other things that we've done. iView that we were at had a similar setup where they were using Xbox controllers, something really familiar, I guess, with newer generations of people, of course, gamers. But they're using it as a tool at this point. The tools of the trade now are these things that we consider games or toys, and they're really not. So how is that used with what you're doing? Is that where you get the different views?